Car rallying has become a popular form of motorsport these days. In fact, about 4,000 rallies take place every year in Canada. Now, these events can be short one-day rallies within a small area, or they can be something like the world's longest rally, the Marathon 84, to be held for the first time this summer. Walter Boyce is Ottawa's champion rally driver, and often Canada's too, and he says nothing beats the challenge and the fun. But what's it all about? Here's a look.
Stay alive. Clint Richardson steals his pass.
Like dragons charging with all their might, cars tear across an arid countryside. What is it for? Racing, jumping, flying, diving into muddy waters, on and on, even after nightfall. A battle of skill. A race against the hands of the clock. A calculated risk. A gamble with fate. Faster. 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 On and on, day after day, hour after hour. Every second counts.
Walter, that looks like torture. Amnesty International should be after you for subjecting yourself to that kind of treatment. What do you get out of rallying?
Well, Brian, it's a lot of fun. First of all, I enjoy it immensely. And I've been lucky enough to enjoy the support of many different manufacturers and sponsors over the years, which has kept me involved. And I guess another aspect is that I've been good at it. It's been very satisfying. When you start a competitive section of a rally, in fact, the whole event, the whole environment of the event is such that it takes you away completely from whatever else might be intruding on your mind, and it's refreshing.
When I did rallying for a very brief time, just like those little one-day things that we did, and it was always made very clear to us that speed was not of the essence. The little clip that we saw here mentioned every second counts. Well, in a sense it does, but is it true that in professional rallying, speed is of the essence?
Professional rallying tests the car and driver, and the kind of rally that we saw on the film clip there was typical of a world championship event in maybe Africa or other parts of the world, where they're using the entire route as a race course, and all the public roads are closed. If not closed, they're at least used as competitive sections. Here in Canada, it's still a race, but we race on closed sections of roads. We're not racing when we're on the Queensway type of thing. We're racing when we're in the woods and the hills, and the public interest in terms of safety is maintained paramount at all times. Mm-hmm. But definitely it's racing.
Time allowances for this marathon are pretty tight. We're talking about perhaps things like 5 hours sleep in 24 or 5 hours sleep in 36. How can you stay awake under these kinds of conditions?
I personally don't, but one of my crew members is the type of individual that when you have to be in Edmonton in 3 days, you can put him at the wheel and say, you know, and he'll get you there. Jock Wilson is an exceptional marathon driver. My participation on the team was to enhance their performance on the speed sections as opposed to the high average speed road sections of the event. Unfortunately, as you know, I'm not going to be able to participate.
That is unfortunate. I know you were selected. As a matter of fact, you were selected to replace someone whom the sponsors did not want to have, and they chose you because of your qualifications. It is unfortunate that you're not going to be there, but I know you're involved as coordinator, and you can give us a lot of information about it. So I'm just going to swing around to my left here and pick up a map to let people get some idea of the extent of this route. There we are, through North and South America, and you'll be beginning where?
Anaheim, California.
Okay, so we're down here.
Oh, a little bit further north, up around Los Angeles there.
Working left hand. Okay, so you start there, you go south or north first?
South.
Okay, down along the coast.
Now, your viewers
All right.
may have heard of the event, the Baja 1000. It's an off-road race in Southern California and into Mexico, the Baja Peninsula there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first day of this event,
Mm-hmm.
going south from Los Angeles.
Okay, into Mexico City.
Yes.
What are the dotted lines here?
That's after we arrive at Guatemala City, we proceed to Puerto Barrios, I believe is the name, to ferry over to Cartagena, Colombia.
Neatly avoiding all the disturbances in Central America, then.
Necessarily so, I would think.
Okay, and then from there you go, okay, you're over
South.
here,
We
and then
proceed
south
along
again,
the west coast
and, okay,
of South America.
all the way down
Bogota,
here.
Quito, Lima, La Paz, Santiago, Chile.
I mean, you're going through places where you don't see people for 500 miles. What happens if you have a mechanical breakdown? What happens if someone is hurt?
There will be radio communication, and there will be, besides the main time controls in the capital cities of all these South American countries, there will be other passage controls located between the main time controls to establish the progress of a car, whether a car is in
Yeah, to
certain
make
amount
sure
of
that they've come to the
difficulty.
checkpoint, and if not, why not? So
Right.
you go all the way down to Tierra del Fuego, down here at the tip, and then you start heading back and
Right.
up on the east coast and through the center. I mean, that's is that mountainous territory in there?
That territory is, well, it's completely unknown to me, but I understand that that's where the adventure really begins, between
I would have thought it began a lot earlier than that.
between Brasilia and Manaus is very primitive country. It's it has to be where the real adventure of the event takes place.
All right, so you continue up, and then you take that ferry across again
Right.
to return to North America.
Back to Puerto Barrios, Guatemala City,
Okay.
Mexico,
Up here.
El Paso.
Okay, now we're getting closer to home here in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
When do you hit here?
July the 10th, the cars are scheduled to arrive for a 9-hour layover in Ottawa. Ottawa being the capital of Canada, of course, and they're hitting all the capitals.
Yeah. At what time on July the 10th? Do you know?
I don't know.
I mean,
and,
when should I be looking out for these
I think as
people?
July the 10th comes close, we'll know.
We'll get more information, eh?
Yes, it could be a matter of the cars being a day or two late as well, as you appreciate.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. And then you continue and you go all the way up to Alaska,
Edmonton,
through
Anchorage,
Canada,
Prudhoe Bay,
and then up, and then you double back, and you're ending where?
ends at Los Angeles.
All the way back down
in
to LA.
connection with, it's a pre-Olympic event promotion. It's tied in that way as well.
How many cars are participating?
At the moment, they have 98 confirmed entries, many from South America, 15 from Argentina alone, a number from Eastern Europe, many name drivers. Virtually, I would think all the countries in the world are possibly represented. I don't have an entry list, unfortunately, but there are entrants from New Zealand, Australia, the Pacific Rim countries, Europe, of course, Eastern Europe, United States, of course, South America. It's going to be very, very much an international event.
It strikes me, motor rallying, as a very private thing. It's not easy to be a spectator at rallies. How do you get the sponsors? How do you get the people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in sponsoring cars and sponsoring equipment?
Well, that's an answer I'm looking for continuously, Brian, myself. However, with the advent of small cars, particularly in the United States marketplace now, manufacturers are looking for visual images of performance and endurance.
So as in the Indianapolis and what have you, they just splash a lot of mottos and slogans and corporate logos across the cars, and I imagine that must pay off in their advertising.
It does, but you see, the rally car is a little bit closer to the showroom car
Yeah.
than the open-wheeled racing cars, and the kind of venues that we're racing under are tremendously realistic to many people.
All right, Walter Boyce, thank you very much for talking to us about the Marathon 84, and good luck with the coordination.
Thank you, Brian. Pleasure to be here.
And we'll be back with more on Newsday Noon after this.